Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata-sevayā bhagavati uttama-shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki आराधयो भगवान् व्रजेश तनयस् तद्धाम वृन्दावनम् रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधू वर्गेण वा कल्पिता श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेमापुमार्थो महान् श्रीचैतन्या महाप्रभुर्मतमिदं तत्रादराना परः गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः नमस्ये पुरुषं त्वाद्यम् ईश्वर प्रकृते परम् अलक्ष्यं सर्वभूतानाम् अन्तर्बहिरवस्थितम् हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, again thank you so much for joining. We are reading Granth Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 9, the Dynasty of Aṁśumān Maharaj. So, we read till text number 35 last time, that was on Friday. So, and then I hope you all relished yesterday's class by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And such a wonderful class he shared. So, text 35, we were talking about this Sudasa, who, caught a Brahmana. When the Brahmana and his wife were together, he caught this Brahmana and was about to kill him. Then his wife really pleaded, please don't kill my husband. He's a Brahmana, he's very qualified. You are very saintly, you are Raj Rishi, this does not befit you. But Sodasa didn't hear. The cruel Sodasa, man-eater, killed this Brahmana, and as a result, the Brahmana's wife cursed that you will also die a very similar death. If you try to be, with a female, then and have bodily pleasures, then you will die. So that was the curse given to Sodasa by this Brahmana wife. Just wanted to recap before we move on. Let's see what happens further. Text number 36. Evam mitrasaham shaptva patiloka parayana tad asthini samidhe agnau prasya bhartur gatim gata. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thus the wife of the Brahmana cursed King Saudasa, known as Mitrasaha. Then, being inclined to go with her husband, she set fire to her husband's bones, fell into the fire herself, and went with him to the same destination. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So, quite straightforward here. Basically, she burnt her husband's body and then did sati, sahamaran, and entered the fire because she could not tolerate the pain of separation. This was something done in the previous ages, but nowadays it is not recommended or done or not should be done or forced. But in the previous days, we see a lot of examples like Mother. The typical example is given of when who was the Kunti's Pandu's other wife. What was her name? I'm forgetting. The mother of Nakul and Sadeva.
Madri, Prabhuji, Madri.
Madri. Yeah. I was saying Mandotri 7 and something. Yeah, Madri. Yeah, so Madri also did the same. Kunti wanted to do, but no, she said, you take care of the children. And then Madri committed sati. So let's see what happens further when this Brahmana wife entered fire and went to the same destination. Because whatever our consciousness is, we go to the same. She was so absorbed thinking of her husband, then she'll go where the husband goes. Right? What's the verse in Bhagavad Gita which proves it? Who knows the answer?
Antakale cha mamevas paranmukta kolevaram.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. 8.5 and 8.6 talk about this topic of whatever state we remember at the time of death, we go there. So let's read text 37. Yes, Ram Mohan Prabhu, you want to read?
Hare Kṛṣṇa, dear devotees, another pranam. Jai Śrīla Prabhupada. Vishapo devadas sabdante methunaya samudhayata vignayapya brahmani sapam mahishya sa nivatrita. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. After 12 years, when King Saudasa was released from the curse by Vasishtha, he wanted to have sexual intercourse with his wife, but the queen reminded him about the curse of the Brahmani, and thus he was checked from sexual intercourse. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Bhakti Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So what was this curse by Vasishtha? Anyone remembers?
He will become a Rakshasa, man-eater.
Yes, he had become a Rakshasa man. That's why he ate the Brahmana. And in doing so, he got another curse. But his wife was very intelligent, so he would remind that don't do these things, otherwise you'll die like the Brahmana died. So let's see. Next 38. Yes, Nandini Mataji, you want to read?
Shri Prabhupada pranam. Ata urdhvam satyaja sri sukham karmana praja vasishthastat anugyato madayantyam prajamadhat. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After being thus instructed, the king gave up the future happiness of sexual intercourse and by destiny remained sonless. Later, with the king's permission, the great saint Vasishtha begot a child in the womb of Madayanti. So this is, it's very wonderful that he's doing according to all the circumstances. He's trying to do his best, and he chooses to remain sonless. And then later, as we have seen this again in how Maharaj Vichitravirya was born, and then we saw that Vyasadeva was given the same service to impregnate the king's wives because there was no child for the throne. So, and here Saint Vasishtha is given the same service, and so that there is a lineage of the king is not disturbed. And this is a very bona fide way, or Vedic bona fide way we have seen. Back to you, Prabhu. Please add. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Let's read the next verse. Have any additional comments? Text 39. Yes, Shital Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam devotees. Sa vai sapta samagarbham abhiramna vyajayate jagne asmano taram tasya so ashmaka stena kathyate. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Madhyanti bore the child within the womb for 7 years and did not give birth. Therefore, Vashishta struck her abdomen with a stone, and then the child was born. Consequently, the child was known as Ashmaka, the child born of a stone. Hare Krishna, back to you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So, quite extraordinary. 7 years in the womb, still not coming out. This interesting name was given. And we have seen this actually in other places also, like Mata Gandhari. When she got to know that Mata Kunti's son Yudhishthira is already there, and then his son would not be getting the throne, then she got a little envious and banged her womb and a lump of flesh came, and then later that was transferred to 100 pieces, and then 100 children were born, the Kauravas. So this is seen at multiple places. So let's see this Ashmaka, the born of a stone. Let's see what happens. Text 40. Yes, Karina, you raise your hand.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, I'll go to Srila Prabhupada. Ashmakad balika jagne yahastrebih pariraksitaha naricha kavacha iti ukta niksatre mulako bhavat. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. From Ashmaka, Balika took birth. Because Balika was surrounded by women and was therefore saved from the anger of Parashurama, he was known as Nadi Kavacha, the one who is protected by women. When Parashurama vanquished all the Kshatriyas, Balika became the progenitor of more Kshatriyas. Therefore, he was known as Mulaka, the root of the Kshatriya dynasty. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. It's quite straightforward. Balika also known as Nari Kavacha, also known as Mulaka. We know this story from Ramayana and other places as well, that Parashuram destroyed the Kshatriya the generations of Kshatriya, 21 generations of Kshatriya. And actually it is mentioned that they all fled away and then they went to different parts like Russia, Europe, etc. So it's mentioned actually. And who was later cause or Mula? Mula basically means cause, is Balika. Balika, why he was not killed? Because he would surround himself, guard himself with women. And Parshuram, being Kshatriya, could not kill, or it was beyond his dignity to kill someone who was surrounded by women. So that's why he was saved. Okay, let's see what happens further. Yes, Sampada Mataji.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Tato tasarathastasmat putra aida vidistataha raja visvasaho yasya khatvangas chakravarti abhut. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. From Balika came a son named Dasaratha. From Dasaratha came a son named Aidavidi. And from Aidavidi came King Visvasaha. The son of King Visvasaha was the famous Maharaj Khatvanga. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, back to you.
Hare Krishna. Balika, Dasharatha, Aidvadi, Vishwasa, and Khatvanga. So 5 names are there. Let's see next verse, what happens. Yes, Vaswati Mataji, want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Text 42. Yo dever artitho daityan avadit yudhi durjayaha muhurtam ayur gyadvaitya swapuram sandade manaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. King Khatvanga was unconquerable in any fight. Requested by the demigods to join them in fighting the demons, he won victory, and the demigods, being very pleased, wanted to give him a benediction. The king inquired from them about the duration of his life and was informed that he had only 1 moment more. Thus, he immediately left his palace and went to his own residence, where he engaged his mind fully on the lotus feet of the Lord. The example of Maharaja Khatvanga in performing devotional service is brilliant. Maharaja Khatvanga engaged himself for only a moment in devotional service to the Lord, but he was promoted back to Godhead. Therefore, if one practices devotional service from the beginning of his life, surely he will return home back to Godhead without a doubt. Asamasya. In Bhagavad Gita, the word asamasya, asamsyaya is used to describe the devotee. There, the Lord himself gives this instruction. Maya sakta manaha partha yogam yunjan mat asrayaha asamsayam samagramam yatha gyasyasi tach churno. Now hear, O son of Pritha, Arjuna, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Bhagavad Gita 7.1. The Lord also instructs, Janma karma cha me divyam yevam yobhatti tatvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam iti sa Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Therefore, from the very beginning of one's life, one should practice Bhakti Yoga, which increases one's attachment for Krishna. If one daily sees the deity in the temple, makes offerings by worshipping the deity, chants the holy name of the personality of Godhead, and preaches about the glorious activities of the Lord as much as possible, he thus becomes attached to Krishna. This attachment is called Ashokti. When one's mind is attached to Krishna, Maya Asakta Manaha, one can fulfill the mission of life in one human birth. If one misses the opportunity, one does not know where he is going, how long he will remain in the cycle of birth and death, and when he will again achieve the human form of life and the chance to return home back to Godhead. The most intelligent person therefore uses every moment of his life to render loving service to the Lord. Very nice translation and purport here. King Khatvanga chose to worship the Lord lotus feet when he came to know that he has just 1 moment. So without wasting a moment, King Khadbanga engaged in the devotional service. So here in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is also telling to Arjuna that who knows him without any doubt and with full faith, Krishna take care of him, of that person, as well as like from our very beginning of the life, one should take the good choice, and the good choice is to do the bhakti yoga, chant the holy name, worship the deities, and get the ashukti, get the attachment to the Lord, to do the Lord's service, and be a servant of Lord's devotee. So that's the best choice for life. And if someone like lost this opportunity in their youth, then they should do it in the beginning, in the rest of his life, like without wasting a single moment, like Khadbanga, because we never know when the death will come and take our life. So that's why it's very important to do the bhakti yoga or devotional service. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. This was very, very deep purport, very, very important actually. Chanakya Pandit says that one moment cannot be purchased by paying millions of dollars. In this situation, we see Khatwang Maharaj. He helped demigods. He was very strong. That means he had all those pleasures which people in demigod world, in upper planets may aspire for. And if he could have asked, well, when demigods wanted to gift him something, correct? And demigods wanting to gift him something, that means he could have got gold, pearls, rubies, apsaras, Nandankanan gardens, and whatnot. The best of the pleasures, the best of the, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, he could have got if he would have asked for. But he did not ask for that. He asked, how much time do I have left? Time is very precious. One moment. Now, this question was asked to the materialistic people. If you have only 1 month left, what will you do? Most people will say, I will enjoy life to the fullest. I will beg, borrow, or steal because anyways I don't have to pay. I'll take loans, credit cards, because anyways the bill will come after 1 month. I'll be gone. So I'll enjoy, go to holidays, go to nice casinos and restaurants and drink, and that's what I'll do. Could Khatwang Maharaj do that? Why not? Right? Life is all about choices. He had the option to do that, but he chose what? Mind fully on the lotus feet of Krishna. Savai manah Krishna padaravindayo. Same as Amrish Maharaj. Complete absorption to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Now one may say, how can one engage one's mind completely? Lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And how can one develop that rati or that asakti? Prabhupada is giving a very nice formula. You have to start from the very beginning. Therefore, from the very beginning of one's life, I'm just repeating the purport because it's so important, one must practice bhakti yoga, which will increase one's attachment for Krishna. This is a formula for developing attachment to Krishna is given here. And that's the title of today's topic, today's class. So how to develop attachment to Krishna? From the very beginning. Very beginning means whatever time we have lost, we have anyways lost. We cannot reverse our age. We are 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever age, 10, 20. We cannot go back in time. So very beginning means whatever we have lost, a very precious time has already been lost, a significant time. Now we have less time left. Whatever time we have left, we must do it, all these practices. Daily seeing the deity in the temple or at home. Make offering by worshipping the deity. Patram pushpam phalam toyam, offer some fruit, flowers, some bhoga. Chant the holy names of Lord Krishna. And preach about the glories of Lord Krishna as much as possible. Life is short, time is running. That means whoever, he or she, becomes attached to Krishna. This is a formula for attachment. The more we read, the more we hear, the more we sing his glories, Nama, Rupa, Gun, Leela, the more we'll get attached to it. But anything, the more if we hear about any Hollywood star, Bollywood star, even if we have no inclination, if we just be in the people who are just talking about him or her, we will develop attachment. That's the power of Sangha. So it's a formula to develop asakti. So, and then at the end of one's life, one will be able to focus completely on Krishna, like Khatwan Maharaj. If the whole life one is talking about Hollywood and Bollywood, at the end of one life, what will think? One think of Hollywood, Bollywood, very simple. One will not think of Krishna. Therefore, after 8.5 and 8.6, Krishna says a very nice verse, 8.7, which says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmare yuddhacha. Remember me and fight. Do our duties. Fighting means whatever our duties is, do those duties and always remember me. Mai arpita mano buddhir mame veshasi asanchaya. Again, over there, also the word asanchaya comes. Mame veshasi. Certainly one will come to me. If one is doing continuously, then only one will be able to remember the time of death. Otherwise, not. There's a very nice, sweet lecture, short, very not called that class, but it's a nice small clipping of Srila Prabhupada. Thought to share with everyone, since we are talking about this, how much time will one take. So let's hear this short clipping.
Yes.
How do you this person who says they're suffering when they actually in that state of being and not afraid to die? Someone who is not afraid to die and says that he's not suffering.
He's a madman. That's all. Who is caring for madman's work?
It's very easy to convince some people that they're not their bodies. But it's not very easy to convince them that they're not their minds. There's some way we can...
But that will take time. How can we expect? Then 1 minute everyone will understand everything. It requires education, time. If he is prepared to give the time, then he will understand. Not that within 5 minutes, 10 minutes he will understand the whole thing. That's not possible. He is a diseased man. He requires treatment, medicine, and diet. In this way he will understand. A diseased man, if he doesn't care for medicine, diet, then he'll suffer. That's all. Yes? Anyone? No?
We've been here lifetime after lifetime performing impulse activities. Well, does it mean that we have to be here lifetime after lifetime performing pious activities to balance our sinful reactions? We have been here for many lifetimes performing sinful activities. So is it possible to counteract all those sinful activities in one lifetime, or does it require many
1 minute. That is Krishna consciousness movement. 1 minute. You are not reading Bhagavad Gita? What Krishna says? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekang saranang braja ongta sarva papebha mokshayami. You surrender unto me, give up your all business. I will give you relief from all sinful reaction. Immediate. It requires 1 minute. My dear Krishna, I was forgotten, now I understand, I fully surrender unto you. Then you become immediately free from all things. Without any reservation, without any politics. If you fully surrender, Krishna is assuring, Aham tva sarva papi homokkhaisami masucho. He reassures. Don't worry whether I will be able to give you relief from all reaction. Masucho. It is guaranteed. You do this. So, how much time it requires to surrender to Krishna? Immediately you can do that. Surrender means you surrender and what? As Krishna says. That is surrender. What Krishna says to do. Manmana bhavavad bhakta madhyajimang namaskuru. 4 things. You always think of me and you become my devotee, you worship me and offer your respect, full obeisances, and you do these 4 things. That is full surrender. Mami vaishasi, asangsa. Then you come to me without any doubt. Everything is there. Krishna has given everything fully. If you accept it, then life is very simple. There is no difficulty.
Hare Krishna. Amazing. Prabhupada's pure devotee. Guru is like Vajradapi Kathorat Kusumadapi Komalat. Sometimes can be like a thunderbolt. Thunderbolt, like so clear, so much conviction, so much compassion. And so many, Mahashucha is basically also same as our Sanshaya. Do not doubt, do not lament, do not fear. Right? 1861, again Prabhupada quoted here, Asanshaya, do not doubt. So the point here is how to develop attachment to Krishna. And that is the last line of the purport. The most intelligent person, right, therefore uses every moment of his or her life to render loving service to the Lord, as it is from the purport. Real intelligence does not mean to get good degrees and good money and all that. That's very secondary, tertiary, and the real intelligent person engages his time, her time in the service of the Lord, loving devotional service. That's what Prabhupada also says. Remember me, offer obeisance to me, become my devotee, and act as per his directions. That's the success of human form of life. Otherwise, we will keep moving. Katwang Maharaj attained complete perfection in 1 moment. And Prabhupada is giving us this wonderful formula so we can also do the same. And when someone asked, well, it took lifetime, Prabhupada was like very grave. 1 minute. 1 minute. He said like 3 times. So let's read a few more verses. Text 43. Anyone who has not yet read today? Yes, Vipul Prabhu, want to read?
Arjun devotees, Namaskaram, and this is Srila Prabhupada. Text 43. Name Brahma Kula Prana Kulo Duiban No mojaha no sriyo no mohi rajyam no darash chati vallabhaho. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Maharaj Khatbanga thought, not even my life is dearer to me than the Brahminical culture and the Brahmas who are worshipped by my family. What then is to be said of my kingdom, land, wife, children, and opulence? Nothing is dear to me than the Brahmanas. Purport. Maharaj Khatbanga, being in favor of the Brahminical culture, wanted to utilize one moment's time by fully surrendering unto the Supreme Personal Godhead. The Lord is worshipped with this prayer: Namo Brahmano Devayo Go Brahmano Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Nama. I offer my respectful obeisances to the Supreme Personal Absolute Truth, Krishna, who is the well-wisher of the cows and the brahmanas, as well as the living entities in general. I offer my repeated obeisances to Govinda, who is the pleasure reservoir for all the senses. A devotee of Krishna is very much attached to Brahminical culture. Indeed, an expert personality who knows who Krishna is and what he wants is a real Brahman. Brahma Janati Brahmano. Krishna is the Param Brahman, and therefore all Krishna conscious persons or devotees of Krishna are exalted Brahmanas. Khatbanga Maharaj regarded the devotees of Krishna as the real Brahmanas and the real light for human society. One who desires to advance in Krishna consciousness and spiritual understanding must give the utmost importance to Brahminical culture and must understand Krishna Govinda, then his life will be successful. So here we see that Maharaj Khatbanga got just one murta before he accepted his death, and he considered on the Lord, and also the most dear devotee to Lord is the Brahmins. Brahmins are nothing but who has realized the Param Brahman, the Supreme Person of the Godhead. And as they are dear to Krishna, so meditating on them also will take us back to the Krishna. That is my understanding, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you so much. Jay. It's a really exemplary example of Maharaj Khatbanga. Let's meditate upon what he is seeing here. He's thinking. This is what is going on in his mind. What is most dear to someone, right? Generally, what's more dear? What would be some common answer if we ask people in general? What's most dear to you?
Their wife, their children.
Yeah, wife, children. What else?
Himself,
herself. Someone will
Money.
say money, right? Or job, or my home, or my bank balance, or what else? My iPhone, right? That's a bigger tapasya. So generally these will be the most common answers. But the extended selfishness comes from the gross selfishness, the first one, that is, even if someone has to say, well, I'll take your phone or I'll take your hand, we'll say, okay, take my phone. I want to protect. So I'll kill you, or you give me your gold pearl necklace, or you'll say, okay, I'll give you my pearl necklace, don't kill me. Which tells us that everyone, the most dear thing to themselves is their own self. So what is Khatbanga saying? Not even my life is dearer to me. The most dear thing to common masses is their own life, right? Not even my life is more dear to me than the brahmanas, the devotees, the bhaktas. What to speak of kingdom, land, and children, and opulence, and all that. It's like, on a relative scale, everyone loves themselves more than their kingdom, their land, their wife, their children, etc. what to speak of all these things? I am ready to give up my own life for the Brahmanical culture, for the Brahmanas. Basically the same mood as all the great souls actually. Like even Bali Maharaj was ready to give up his complete self. Amrish Maharaj, or talk about any, they are ready to sacrifice their own self to protect the Brahmanical culture, to protect Parikshit Maharaj, to protect that culture, to protect the Brahmanas, to serve the Brahmanas. Because that's the foremost thing for them. Again, you cannot artificially imitate that, but at least we can appreciate what these people, what these great souls are doing. Even Prabhupada, right? Prabhupada gave up his family. Why? For the higher purpose, for Guru's order, right? Giving up wife, children, family, grandchildren, is it easy? No, it's not easy. Even at the advanced ages, it's not that we discuss in the Bhagavad Gita class, not that as the age advances, then person will naturally become renounced. It's not like that. At that age also, the different attachments are there. But the point is, a pure soul, his or her attachment to Krishna is far more than anything else. So again, we can at least try to absorb that spirit and try to enhance our attachment and always keep Krishna as the center, devotees as the center. Brahmana Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya. This is a very special verse which we practically sing every day. Then life will be successful. That's again the real success. So let's see the next verse. Yes, Canto, please.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Text 44. Na balyapi mathir mahyam adharmi ramate kvachit na pasyam uttama slokad anya kinchaya ustava aham. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. I was never attracted, even in my childhood, by insignificant things or irreligious principles. I did not find anything more substantial than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. Maharaj Katwanga provides a typical example of a Krishna conscious person. A Krishna conscious person does not see anything to be important but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nor does he accept anything within this material world as being unconnected to the Supreme Lord. As stated in Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Madhya 8.274, Sattvar Jangama Dheke Nadekhe Tara Murti Sarvatra Haya Nija Ita Dev Istha Devi Spurti.
The Bhagavata, the advanced devotee certainly sees everything mobile and immobile, but he does not exactly see their forms. Rather, everywhere he immediately sees manifest the form of the Supreme Lord. Although a devotee is within the material world, he has no connection with it.
Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhi.
He accepts this material world
in relationship
in relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead.
A devotee
A devotee may be engaged in earning money, but he uses that money to
He uses the money for propagating
the Krishna conscious movement by
constructing
large temples and
establishing
worship of the Supreme Personality of God.
and
Okay.
Katwanga Maharaja therefore was not a materialistic. A materialistic is always attached to wife, children, home, property, and many other things for sense gratification. But as stated above, Katwanga Maharaja was not attached to such things, nor could he think of anything existing without the purpose of Supreme Lord. Isha vai vasyam idham sarvam. Everything is related to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, this consciousness is not for the ordinary person. But if one takes the path of devotional service as prescribed in the nectar of devotion, he can be trained in this conscious and attain perfect understanding. For a Krishna conscious person, nothing is palatable without a relationship with Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for, again, very, very nice lesson which talks about the great character of Katwanga Maharaj. So he is kind of thinking about his childhood. Generally, kids, what are they attracted to? Right? What are they attracted to? Insignificant things, right? Sometimes they will play with some tiny Barbie doll or sometimes some Lego, like not very significant things. But to them, it is very significant. Candy, they will running attracted to some candy, attracted to some dummy phone, or they don't know what is dummy, what is real. Trivial things, right? But what was Katwanga Maharaj attracted to? From the very childhood, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like Shri Prahlad Maharaj. He would not waste. Prahlad Maharaj was also very much attracted to the Supreme Lord from the very childhood. Why? Because of their great heritage, because of their great bhakti, because of the great samskars, and of course Krishna's arrangement. So the point is that they would only see things in relation to Krishna. A pure soul sees only things in relation to Krishna. Sthavar janga na dekhi. Sthavar means stationary, those who don't move, like trees, non-living things, etc. Janga, those who move, right? Those who have jang means leg, right? Those who have legs to move. Na dekhi, they don't see living or non-living. Na dekhi taramurti, sarvatra hoy nija ishtadev spurti. Everywhere, sarvatra, they see their ishtadev. Shri Radha Govind, Shri Radha Gopinath, Shri Radha Madar Mohan. Their ishtadev they see everywhere. The Supreme Lord, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, Shri Krishna. So the point is, they have trained themselves. It's a training process. It's not something artificial. Prabhupada said multiple places, ISKCON is like a training institute. So, Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. See everything in connection with Krishna, not in connection with the material world. Prabhupada gives an example. A devotee may be engaged in earning money, but he uses that money for propagating Krishna consciousness by constructing large temples and establishing the worship of the Supreme Lord. That's the real purpose of earning money. But Maya is very strong. Earning, everyone likes, but it's not easy to part that for Krishna's pleasure. Or sometimes one may think, okay, I'll keep 99.9%, 0.99% for myself, and maybe 0.1%, 0.01 for Krishna. But Krishna knows how much we give, how much we keep. He knows everything. The point is, we should do our best and try to continue to increase, continue to do better and better based on our time, place, situations. He knows everything in and out, right? We can hide from others. We cannot hide from the Supreme Lord. So the point is, we should try our best. Because if Prabhupada would have not done, if some other devotees, we all went to some ISKCON temples, maybe multiple ISKCON temples, right? We have been to multiple cities, multiple countries, maybe some of you may have been to. So someone must have done the hard work, right, to build that. It didn't come by chance. It didn't come from nowhere. Someone must have done hard work. Someone must have given their hard-earned money to build that, right? So we should also try to create and give back to the society also by building temples, centers, distributing books, distributing prasad, etc., etc., in whatever way we can, sharing this more and more. And that's what the kings, the real kings, would also do. If you go to Jaipur, etc., you'll find actually the Radha Govind Mandir is actually the part of the palace. It was in the king's palace, such a big temple. Its name is in Guinness Book of World Records, actually. If you go there, you'll see. Because it is like a single temple where the flat structure is without a pillar, like the biggest structure without a pillar. It's very interesting. I'm not sure if I'm able to explain what I'm thinking in my mind. The point is, like, after every 20, 30 feet, a pillar is required to support the building, right? To support the roof, you need the pillar, right? For every 20, 30 or 50 feet. But over there, it's like 150 or 200 feet or more. I don't know the exact dimension, but there is no pillar. So very interesting. And that's why its name is in Guinness Book of World Records as well. It's an interesting place, and thousands of devotees come every day morning for Mangal Aarti at 5 a.m. It was part of the king's palace actually, which this Jantar Mantar, where all these tourist places are there. Jantar Mantar, Hawa Mahal, it's in that area only, Radha Govind Mandir. So the point is, and then you go to even Vrindavan, some areas you'll see part of the king's palace, the center was a temple. So nothing is palatable without relationship to Krishna. If we call ourselves a Krishna conscious person, then this is for us, the last line. For a Krishna conscious person, nothing is palatable without a relationship with Krishna. If you're trying to be Krishna conscious person or calling ourselves Krishna conscious, this is something to meditate on. Does the material world seem to us very palatable in relation to Krishna, or we feel, no, this is all dry. There's no real taste there without relationship to Krishna. So we can try to develop these great qualities. Of course, I'm also theoretically speaking. So one day we can develop. Any other questions, comments, additions, thoughts?
Prabhu, His Holiness Radhanath Swami says that there used to be in his childhood, he has seen a TV show which had 30 days, man had only 30 days to live. And then he does a lot of adventurous activities. And then the TV show got so popular that they increased he was supposed to live for 30 days, then they increased that lifetime span. And, again, he wanted to do all these activities according to material world adventurist. And then he talks about how this is this kind of mentality is the worst, where you just want to you live only once, and you just want to enjoy, and then there's no use. Back to you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Teacher Maharaj said on this similar lines that with so many lifetimes I have given to Maya, let me give me this lifetime to Krishna. Because anyways, life will pass away, right? How many of us feel like, last whatever our age is, 30, 40, 50, time just flew by, right? Last 10 years flew by, or last year flew by, or this year just flew by, right? We all feel like that, I feel, or last 5 years flew by. Oh, I was in college like 2 years back. Oh, it's 10 years, not 2 years. Oh, I was in 10th grade like 5 years back. Oh, it's like 15 years, not 5 years, or maybe 20 years, I don't know. And the point is that time just fly by, and it will fly by, whatever the meaning is. But in that duration, what we do will make a difference. So, thank you. Anything else before we wind up for today?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Tandatpranam, all devotees. Prabhuji, my question is that sometimes we know that ultimate goal of life is to, surrender to Lord, and we do it. But then why it is every day there are other things which dominate? And what should be the one thing that we must tell ourselves every day, thinking that this life is really very small, we don't know when it's going to end. But still there are plans for coming 5 years, for coming 4 years. So what to tell ourselves? This is my question, Prabhuji.
You are so sincere, Mataji. I tell that may Krishna make me sincere like you. And other devotees were sincerely practicing. When I see Sampada Mataji sincerely chanting, I feel that when will I sincerely chant like her? When I see Nandini Mataji distributing such amazing books, I feel so much compassion she has. She's doing so much for Krishna. And I see Sujoya Mataji chanting Kirtan, and I just pray, one day maybe I can also chant so from the heart. And I see Ram Prabhu, in spite of all the challenges, giving such a Krishna conscious culture to his family. I just feel that how much love and devotion, seeing everything in Krishna and Spirit. We should just remind ourselves that Krishna, I am yours. We should tell Krishna, Krishna, I am yours. Right? Please engage me in your service. Please accept me. I have a lot of shortcomings. I have a lot of shortcomings. Bhakta bhakta sab tumne tare, bina bhakti hum thare dwari, lijo khabar hamari radhe sham sham sham. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, all the great souls say like this, that if you try to find qualities in me, then you will not find any quality, because I don't have any good quality. But Krishna, still I'm yours. Don't leave me. Keep me under your shelter. I want to improve. I'm trying to improve. I still have a lot of shortcomings, long way to go. But if you leave me, who will keep me? Right? Because I have no one really. Although I say sometimes my wife will save me, my job will save me, although I say like that, my wealth will save me, but inside I know, and you also know, that only you will save me. Although I may act because I'm not sincere also, actually. We should honestly tell Krishna, please help me improve. And remind, the process is the same. Chanting, reading, hearing. These are all reminders only. Why we read every day, why we chant every day? To remind ourselves of our real sambandha. Right? So to keep reminding, you're right, material nature is strong. Without association of devotees, without sadhu sangha, without books, without chanting, we will forget all these things. We'll forget. And the more we go off track, the deeper the forgetfulness. Let's say if someone does not chant for 1 week, no association, it's like batteries are discharged, no reading, no hearing. We may have felt that sometimes. Therefore, we have to get back on track, and therefore it is Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā. Nityaṁ means 24/7. But Natandas Thakur or Krishna Chakravarti Thakur says conditioned soul 24/7 not possible. What to do? Every day, or condition every day means Nityaṁ. And then one day from that we'll come to the state of Vedastha, we'll come to the state of Khatwal Maharaj. That's our hope, right? To always remember Krishna. So we're trying. I don't know if it helps, but Hare Krishna. Who wants to add or
Wonderful answer.
correct?
Thank you so much. This one line answer that Krishna, I'm yours, please save me. It's wonderful. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Grantraj Bhagavatam Purana ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Śrī Caitanya Maharaj ki jai. Vete Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Hare Krishna, thank you so much.